Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Wellspring Cancer Support Nourish session on managing eating-related side effects. Today, we're going to be talking about poor appetite and weight loss during or after cancer treatment. My name is Kara Rosenblum, and I'm one of the Wellspring dietitians, and I will be taking you through today's presentation. Before we get started, I just want to give you a bit of information about where we get our information at Wellspring. We're proud that all of our information here is based on the latest science. It's all evidence-based, based on the latest journal studies or information that's coming from the Canadian Cancer Society, the World Cancer Research Fund, the American Institute for Cancer Research, and the National Cancer Institute. So everything here is up to date, it's evidence-based, it's the same information you'd get from your healthcare team, your oncologist, etc. So feel confident that you can trust the information you're hearing today. So some people who are going through cancer treatment will find that they have lost weight. Why is that? Well, weight loss is one of the most common side effects that people may experience, and it can be caused by a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it can be a medication that you're on that can lead to weight loss. Sometimes it's a side effect of chemotherapy or radiation. Sometimes you'll have other side effects like heartburn or bloating or pain that may cause your appetite to be decreased because it's uncomfortable to eat. Sometimes with nausea, that will happen as well. Some people find that the emotional stress of going through treatment will decrease their appetite. Others find that maybe they have a sore mouth or mouth sores or problems swallowing, or they find taste changes due to their medications or chemotherapy that has changed what they like to eat or reduced the variety in their diet. That would cause weight loss. And sometimes the cancer itself will lead to weight loss. So there are many reasons why weight loss might happen. You might wonder, well, why does it matter? Well, food and nourishment can help your body heal. It provides energy from calories. It provides protein that builds the immune system, vitamins and minerals that help protect the cells. So we want to make sure that even if your appetite is reduced, we're still doing the best that we can to get some kind of healing food into your system. And this presentation today will give you tips to help do that. You also want to make sure that you let your doctor or dietitian know what's happening if you are having a low appetite. They may help intervene if your low appetite is caused by things like diarrhea or constipation or heartburn or a sore mouth. There are different medications you can try, mouthwash if you have sore mouth or a dry mouth. So definitely make sure that you always report your symptoms back to your healthcare team because there are often a lot of tips that they can offer that will help you feel better. And do know that your appetite will slowly come back after treatment ends. Until then, here are some tips that may help. Sometimes people will tell me that they just don't really feel hungry. So what you want to do is instead of overwhelming yourself by sitting down to a big, 3 meals a day that you're used to, try to eat something, even if it's something small, every few hours. So even if it's just a few bites of food, any nourishment you can put into your body is better than no nourishment at all. And even if you have to set a timer to remind yourself to eat because your appetite is low, do that and make sure you're just taking even a few bites. The other thing is a lot of people are very regimented in their life to eat 3 meals a day, and they've been doing that for so long that they're used to it. It's different when you're going through cancer treatment. You want to make sure that you eat whenever you feel hungry. It doesn't have to be at specific times. You don't have to eat 3 meals a day. You don't want to revolve around a clock. You want to listen to your appetite whenever you do feel hungry and eat something. And then remind yourself between those times when you're not feeling hungry, try to have a few bites of food then too. If you are going to be drinking beverages, it's better to drink them between meals. Sometimes people find when they have a low appetite, when they have a drink, it fills them up because it hits their stomach and it gives their stomach a feeling of satiety or fullness. So you don't want to fill up on beverages like water that don't really provide any calories or nutrients. You want to make sure you're filling up on your foods first, unless the drink that you're having is something that's really nutrient dense, like a milkshake or a nutritional supplement like Boost or Ensure. Those you can kind of sip throughout the day. But if you're just having water, try to have it between meals, not with your meal, so you can make room for more calories. Some people also report that it helps eating when energy levels are highest. Studies show that when reporting on cancer symptoms, when energy level is highest, so is appetite. So you want to make sure you marry those times, and remember, if you're feeling good, include some food. You also want to keep snacks and high calorie beverages handy and eat or drink when you feel like it. Remember, it's not about eating according to the clock. Sometimes people report feeling that their appetite is low after they experience a lot of bloating or gas or belching. So they find that there's certain foods that may trigger more gas, things like beans, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, carbonated drinks like soda or seltzer water or sparkling water. So if you find that these foods are problematic, you want to cut down on those because you don't want bloating if it's going to affect your appetite negatively. The other key is to add extra calories to your diet and make every bite count. So if you're only going to eat a few bites of food until you feel full, and you have a choice of eating a food that's very light and low in calories, like a little bit of cucumber slices, or the same amount of food that's really nutrient dense and high in calories, like a handful of nuts, in this case, you always want to go for the food that has more calories because you're not going to be eating a lot. So you want to make every bite have the most number of calories that you can have. So if you have a dietitian on your cancer care team, you'll see that they often advise you to choose these high calorie, high fat, high protein snacks more often. Things like nuts and seeds and nut or seed butters, or like peanut butter, almond butter, that kind of thing. Foods like Greek yogurt or sour cream, you can mix fruit in them, or a little drizzle of honey or maple syrup if you find them a bit too sour. Some people love that sour taste. Some people like to mask it with a sweeter taste. Adding things like whipping cream or table cream to soups or smoothies, using coconut milk if you're not a big dairy person, that works as well. Foods like ice cream are high in calories. Adding more butter, margarine, or oil, whatever your fat of choice is, to your foods will give it more calories for every bite. Salad dressing. So again, the example of a cucumber, that's low in calories, but if you dip it in ranch dressing, it's going to have a lot more calories. So things like dressings, dips, mayonnaise, that kind of thing. Dried fruit to pair with your nuts, it's high in calories. Cheeses. So all of those foods have a lot of calories to add to your diet. And some people who have been maybe chronic Weight Watcher or dieter or in diet culture for many, many, many years may see this list of foods and be surprised that dietitians are encouraging the use of foods that may be higher in fat or calories or saturated fat. But that's exactly the point. So don't be surprised to see butter, ice cream on the list. If you're someone who's dieted habitually, you know that you cut back on these foods because they're high in calories and may lead to weight gain or weight maintenance. But in this case, that's exactly what we're looking for. We want to help you make the most out of every bite and have foods that are more nutrient dense and calorie dense so that you can maintain a healthy weight or even put some weight on if you've lost weight. So this is kind of flip-flopping the diet rules from yesteryear on their head. Right now, what you want to focus on is maintaining a healthy weight or gaining weight back. And these aren't going to be the foods that are going to be in your diet forever. They are for right now because they're the best way to put weight on. Now, if you're concerned about heart health or if you have type 2 diabetes, certainly you want to stick with more of the unsaturated fats on this list. So more nuts and seeds and nut butters, more Greek yogurt, but less butter and less table cream and whipping cream, more oil like olive oil. So talk to your particular healthcare provider. There should be a dietitian in every cancer care center, and ask them if you need to add calories, which ones they want you to add, specifically if you have heart health concerns. But for the most part, this kind of high fat, high calorie diet is short-lived for a time being, just to make sure that you keep your weight up during treatment. It's not going to affect you long-term if you do it for a short term. You also want to make sure that you're choosing foods that have plenty of protein. Protein is a nutrient in foods that helps you maintain a healthy immune system, avoid infections, and really help foster recovery. So you want to include any foods that have protein, and those could be meat or animal-based protein, such as poultry, meat, fish, seafood, dairy, and eggs. Or they can be plant-based protein if you prefer, or if you're on a plant-based diet. Things like beans, peas, lentils, tofu, or other soy foods like soy beverages, edamame, tempeh. And also the nuts, seeds, and nut butters do carry along with their fat a little bit of protein as well. So any of these foods are fine to choose. Other things to try that studies show do help people who are dealing with a low appetite are not making eating a stressful time. Some people get so concerned when they have a low appetite that it causes more stress and causes even more of a low appetite. So you want to try to relax around food and make it pleasurable, enjoyable. Some people report in clinical studies that something like listening to music or watching TV or setting a table or eating with a friend or a family member, it takes the pressure off of worrying so much about their appetite. So they're kind of distracted by some outside source, music, TV, conversation, and they tend to be able to eat a few more bites, which is very helpful. That's what we're looking for. The other thing that may help is being physically active. Most oncologists will give you a green light to be active, go for a walk, even during cancer treatment. Check with your oncologist first, but most will say it's fine. And the neat thing about physical activity is it can help increase your appetite and make you feel more hungry. So if you can be physically active, that might be another way to give your appetite a little boost. Of course, there are going to be times when you just can't eat. For some people, it's from bad heartburn, it's from mouth sores, maybe your appetite is just gone, maybe you're having trouble swallowing. There's all different things that can happen. So if you find that you can't eat for a few days, you definitely want to talk with your healthcare team because they may suggest some kind of commercial nutrition supplement to help get you over the hump of having a low appetite when you just can't have any food at all. These drinks, as you see here, things like Boost and Ensure, they're a good source of calories. They provide the protein we were talking about. Usually it's either from a dairy source or there's some that come from soy. There's vegetarian sourced ones. And they have a whole host of vitamins and minerals, just like you were eating a meal. That's why they're often called meal replacements. They come in drinks. So if you're happy to take a drink, you can sip slowly throughout your day, a couple of these. They also come in powder where you can add your own milk or water. There's a pudding option, and some of them even come in bars, almost like a granola bar kind of thing. And that can help if you don't mind eating a bar format. So you have Boost, Ensure, Carnation Instant Breakfast, Magic Cups are kind of an ice cream or a pudding substitute. So those are different things you can have. And then some people will be concerned when they hear about this because it kind of is on that fence of, well, like, isn't that sort of an ultra processed food with all sorts of stuff in it? Or isn't there a lot of sugar in there? So kind of like when we were talking about coconut, about butter and the fats and all the calories, this isn't meant to be your long-term nutritional plan. This is meant in a short term when you can't eat because you're having a lot of symptoms. So in the short term, these are totally a reasonable and acceptable supplement to have in your diet because they're going to give your body the protein, vitamins, minerals, and calories it needs to keep you energized and nourished. And some people are concerned about the sugar. So one of these bottles has about 14 grams or 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. So that's about the amount of sugar in a double if you went to Tim Hortons to order coffee. It's not a lot of sugar because it's paired with 27 different vitamins and minerals, as well as 10 grams of nourishing protein, which we talked about as being an integral part of the immune system and helping with recovery. Let me compare that to drinking a can of soda. Regular 355 milliliter can has 40 grams or 10 teaspoons of sugar, no vitamins, no minerals, no protein. So I never want anyone to compare these commercial nutrition supplements with a soft drink or a sugar sweetened beverage. They're not. They're actually low in sugar with only 2.5 teaspoons per container and contain a lot of vitamins, minerals, and protein. So if you're using these for the short term, do not be worried about it. If your doctor or dietitian recommends them, they're fine to get you over the hump until you can start eating normally again. There are also situations where you need more than a short-term solution. When you're not eating for a longer period of time, your doctor may talk to you about a different kind of solution, something like tube feeding. And that is when you cannot eat by mouth at all, perhaps because you've had radiation on your head or neck area, have mouth sores, or have a cancer in your esophagus, your mouth, or your tongue, in which case you might do tube feeding. And that is when you get liquid nutrition delivered right into your system, into your digestive system, through a thin, flexible tube that's placed directly into your stomach or your intestine. So you're fed that way, and you can bypass the mouth or the throat and let it rest and heal, but still get the nutrition you need. It can be used in cases where you need more calories than you can eat, or when you cannot eat at all, maybe with swallowing problems or an extremely sore mouth or throat. The other option that sometimes is done when your cancer is in your digestive system lower down and you cannot have a tube in your stomach or your intestine is intravenous nutrition. And that provides fluid and nutrients directly into your blood through a catheter that's inserted into a vein, either in your chest or in your arm. And that is used when your whole digestive system and gastrointestinal tract or your bowel needs rest. So when you have a cancer lower down, like a colorectal cancer or anything that requires bowel rest. So there are always options, and this is what you can speak to your healthcare team about to make sure that your nourishment stays as high as possible, to make sure that you are getting everything that you need. Thank you for listening. I hope some of these tips were helpful and hope to see you at a future presentation.